Hi, I'm Ebony and welcome to my channel. This is a channel about cross stitch and today is my Flosstube number 6. It is the 9th of August and it's another early one. It is 7:10 in the morning. It's my first day off of 9 days of annual leave and I decided to wake up at 5 a.m. So I've got my coffee and already done a little bit of stitching because the light wasn't great at 5 a.m. So yes, I'm here to show you what I've been up to for the last 2 weeks. So I have a finish, which I am over the moon about. I finished Happily Ever After by Emma Congdon. This is in one of the Cross Stitch Favourites magazines. I stitched it on 32 count white loop yarn on 2/2 and here it is finished. So this is a wedding samplerish for mine and my husband's anniversary. It was our 1-year wedding anniversary on the 5th. So I think I finished it yesterday. So I was three days late, which I'm okay with. But I love the colours in this one. Sorry, my voice keeps going. Yeah, I love the colours in this one. This one was a lot of stitching. So it did take quite a bit to get it to the finish. But I really like it. So I'm glad that one's done. There was something I was going to say about this. Quite a lot of back stitch. But yeah, I'm really happy with that. My husband likes it, which is not often that he says anything about my stitching, but I think he was quite happy that I was stitching something with him in mind. So that one's a finish and I'm really glad that one of my non-full coverages is out of the way because, as you may know, I am drawn straight to the full coverage. So sometimes the non-full coverage can get a bit neglected if I don't make it a priority. So I stitched on that for quite a few of those days. Sorry, let me just have some coffee. As soon as I got near, I think about halfway around the floral wreath, I just thought I can see a finish and I'm going to go for it. So that one's off the list, which I'm really pleased about. The next one is Mini Together in Paris. You should be seeing a picture of what it looks like when it's finished and maybe a before picture. I've been, again, awful. If I don't have a before picture, I might be able to get a screenshot from my last video, but they always tend to be a bit blurry when you screenshot them, so we'll see. But this one started off as a focus piece. My plans have now changed, which I will get into after I've shown you my whips. So if you're only interested in seeing actual stitching and you're not interested in my plans, then you don't have to watch that. This one is Mini Together in Paris. It's charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. The artist is Isabella Korolowicz, and I added 1,016 stitches, bringing it up to 15.39%. And this is where I am. So I just added, there was like a gap in between the man and the woman here. I just filled that in. A lot of light stitches, so you can't really see. But yeah, I'm just working this one down the page. It's like a full page, and then a half page, so that's the bottom of the piece there. So yeah, no more focus piece on this one. I do enjoy stitching on it. It's just that my mindset has changed, so we'll get into that. Pop that over there. The next one is a start along which was hosted by Leanne from Small Town Stitches. There was a bunch of us that started a beautiful place. The artwork is by Eda Jose Rosa, and it is charted by Stitches So Beautiful. You should be seeing a picture of what it looks like when it's finished, and possibly a before picture. And this one I'm using for a challenge. So Stitch So Beautiful have a monthly challenge. I'm not sure if it's every month or every other month, but you just stitch on their piece and enter on a comment on Facebook your progress. So I just did. You don't have to, there's no required stitch amount, you just stitch what you want, so you could just stitch on it for an evening and call it good. This one I stitched 1,111 stitches, bringing it to 3.78%, and this is where I am. So this here is where this gap is where the first page ends. The pages are really small, which is really nice. So I'm deciding to come over into the second page and do them both before moving to another page, just because I wanted a change of colours. I seen a big chunk of grey here, and I thought, oh, get some quick easy stitches in. This one is really fun, really nice charting. They are becoming my favourite charting companies. The colours flow really nicely. It's just really fun. I think most of the people in the style have said the same. Everyone's just loving it. So I'm happy to bring this out once a week for the challenge, and all the participants get a free chart, and then one lucky winner gets like a special prize. So I worked on that. I'm hoping to get to 5-ish% by the end of the challenge. The next one was Stained Glass Butterfly. This is charted by Pink Lily Patterns on Etsy. Oh, I've not said. So for the mini, all my full coverage pieces are stitched 25 count, 1/1 full cross on Easy Guide Lugana, and this one is the same. So yes, Stained Glass Butterfly, Pink Lily Patterns, and let's see where I've got to on this one. So this is the wing. I outlined the wing of the butterfly, well, part of the wing, because it is huge, and I just filled in from the top down. So yeah, it's really pretty, this one. The colours are gorgeous. There is a lot of colours in this, surprisingly. When I was stitching it, I thought, when I was looking at it on the chart, it didn't look like that many colours. But it has a nice effect, so yeah, really fun. And I'm glad to have some blue in. I did come down and do some blue. Pink and blue, my favourites. So, yeah, I like that one. That one's a fun one. Oh, more coffee, I think. What is this one? So another piece I worked on was Grace by Heaven and Earth Designs. The artist again is Isabella Korolowicz. This one is again stitched on 1/1. It's stitched 1/1 full cross on 25 count Easy Guide Lugana. And I finished up the page where the back of her head was, and I moved on to the other page. So this is the end of the page. I just filled in this area, which was not finished previously. And then I decided to come down here and get this flower in and a bit of her hand. And I will work on this page next. This one got 2,543 stitches and is now at 7.65%. So yeah, a lot of block stitching on this one. Really pretty. I love her. Pink again. I hope you don't all get bored of all my pinks and blues. I mean, they are kind of different, but I don't see many Flosstubers, well, any Flosstubers stitching what I stitch. And at first, I thought maybe, not that I'm the odd one out, but yeah, I just thought, I don't really stitch. I mean, a lot of Flosstubers stitch like the fantasy pieces, and I am getting more drawn towards them. And like, I think I've got to be the only Flosstuber that doesn't have an Amy Stewart shelf. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. I mean, I do like them, but they're not top of my list when I'm looking. So, I don't know. I'm a bit different with my taste, I think. But like I said, I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing or just not a thing. But I love watching Flosstube. I will watch anything. I will watch anyone stitch anything. And then the last one is a new start. This is Mini Sea Opal by Elizabeth Welker, and it is charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. It is stitched 1/1 full cross on 25 count, easy guide Lou Garner. And this one is enabled by Leanne from Small Town Stitches. She is a wicked enabler and she loves it. She thrives if you break down and buy, and thrives even more if you start the piece. So I think she was working on this. I'd seen this previously. I think Mika from Darling Bluebell is stitching on the full size version of this, and I loved it. It is totally my style, my colours, colour palette. So when Leanne shown hers, I quickly added it to my wish list. And then Leanne put in the chat that there was a Haid sale, so I got the mini. And she had recently restarted hers and only had 100 stitches in. So I said, well, I'll start mine when you next work on yours. So I quickly kitted it up, and I think she's working on hers now. And I got quite a good start on it. Let me get a board. So this one I added, so this is part of haul as well, I suppose. I added 1,720 stitches, bringing it to 1.63%. And this is where I got to. So pretty. The blues. It is very, I usually work in the typewriter method, but I'm getting a bit restless with that. So I thought, well, I don't have all the colours. They should be arriving today, actually. I'm missing about 10 colours, and they all seem to be on this first page. So I thought, instead of going through each symbol and no, not got it, no, not got it, I just thought, find a colour that you've got, stitch wherever it is. And yeah, I've been quite enjoying it. So that is basically the outline of the first page. Really pretty. Love it. So yes, thanks Leanne. Yeah. So that is all my stitching. I did UFO piece, which I am quite sad about. I was working on Iridescent Deep Blue Pixie, which is from Winkin' Blinkin' and Odd on Etsy. And I was stitching it 1/1 full cross on a 32 count, which was hand dyed. And it was just too tight. I loved the fabric, I loved the piece, but it was taking me so long to get the needle through because there is a lot of confetti in that piece, a lot. I cut my finger and it was taking me longer to get the needle through than it would take to do a stitch. So, I am gonna restart it. Not yet, but I will restart it on some more appropriate fabric. Maybe a 28 count 1/1 instead. I'll never stitch 1/1 full cross on a 32 count again because I'm gutted that I've had to UFO that one. However, that piece is I'm testing the pattern. She sent me 3 charts and she said choose one to stitch and consider the other 2 as gifts. That was the one I chose to stitch. However, with UFOing it, I'm not ready to restart it yet. I will be starting Whimsy 9, which I'll pop a picture up. I'm going to start that at the retreat in Crewe in September. So that will be my pattern tested piece. Yeah, I'm sad about that one. But there was so much to do that I never would have pulled it out if I knew that I was going to cut my finger and just get frustrated. I think I worked on it for about 15 minutes. Cut my finger, couldn't get the needle through, and I thought, no. So that's how it goes sometimes, I suppose. Right, now we will do a little chat about my rotation. So previously I told you about my new rotation, blah, blah, blah. It's scrapped, I'm not doing it anymore. So I had a focus piece, which was Mini Together in Paris. And then I had my days of the 2 weeks blocked out into chunks of full coverage, non-full coverage, and all the rest of it. However, this week, or the last 2 weeks, I have felt very rushed and scattered with my stitching. And it has killed my stitchy book a little. I mean, I've not stitched, but I feel like I've not really been able to like sink my teeth into a piece properly, and I like to do that sometimes and then other times not. So I would like to have that freedom back of if I want to carry on working on a piece, then I can, and if I don't, then I don't have to. So with that being said, the rotation has been scrapped. I have had a few ideas, but I'm not jumping into anything at the minute. What I have done is just to, because I have quite a few whips, to narrow it down, I've spun the wheel, I've picked 5 projects for the next 2 weeks, and I'll just stitch on what I want to stitch on. I might not get to them all, I might not get a lot of work on some of them and more on others, but I'm okay with that. That's the way I like to stitch, and I don't want the pressure. The only pressure that I might feel is to have enough stitching to show on Flosstube. But other than that, I don't want any extra pressure on, oh, you have to work on this for 2 days, or you have to work on this for 3 days. Like, no, not happening. So I have 5 projects to show you, and like I said, what I get to, I get to. I put all my whips on the wheel, so it doesn't matter if it's full coverage, non-full coverage. The only one that actually wasn't on there was my Evening in the Park, which I didn't work on last week, so I am gonna show you those potential pieces for the next 2 weeks, and we'll see what I get up to. Oh, sorry, coffee. So the wheels spun Wildlife of Predator. This is a kit from Luca S. It's stitched on the cord for the kit fabric, the kit floss. It is a 16 count Ada. This is where I got to last time. This piece really creases because it's Ada. As soon as you fold it, it like remembers the folds. So sorry about the creasing. So last time, I think I've shown you this last week. I stitched the background, can't really see it. Started on his hair and did a bit of the watercolour. So I might get to this and I might not. That's what like the size of the piece is. And I think I also might keep out sea glass, not sea glass, what's it called? Sea opal, but I might not, it depends. It depends. The next one the wheel chose was Sugar Plum Village by Shannon Christine Designs. This is stitched on a 40 count linen from Fox and Rabbit, and I chose my own colours for this one, and I have a small start on it. It'll be nice to get back to this one. I enjoy 40 count, so maybe try and get this block finished here, because it is split into like 3 sections along the top, so we'll see. Like I said, I'm off work for the next 9 days, so hopefully, I mean, we have got some family stuff planned, which I'll talk about at the end, but hopefully I'll have plenty of stitching time as well. The next one that got chose was Pink Aqua Butterfly. I think I also worked on this last week. This is stitched on a 28 count even weave from Megan at Coffee Craft Fabrics. This is not named, she doesn't name her fabrics, but that is where I am. I really enjoyed this piece last week, or last time. I only got 1 day on it and I got over 1,000 stitches, so it does work up pretty fast, and I'm hoping to get some more on it. I like that it's like tonal. It like doesn't blend in, but it kind of blends in. I love that. So that is another potential whip. And then the last one that got chose was Water Nymph. This is it's charted by Blush and Pink Stitches, and the artwork is from Vanilla Art. Yes, sorry, Vanilla Art, and I have 2 pages on this one finished. It's been quite a bit, well, not quite a bit, but I've not worked on this one, so I'll be looking forward to getting back to this. Still up in the sky. I think I might come down to the, this is a big piece, to this page and do diagonals, but I'm not sure. It is huge. It's like 400 and something thousand stitches. But 1 page at a time, like the rest of them. So they're the 5 projects that got chosen. Now, haul. I need to stop buying charts. Sorry. It's gone cold. Well, I don't need to stop buying charts, but I do need to stop buying charts. I am obsessed with full coverage. I can't stop buying them, and I don't buy and collect as a hobby. I want to stitch them all, and I want to start them all like now. So I bought mini Opal, which I've already shown you. So I was saying that Stitch is So Beautiful are becoming my favourite charting company. They feature an artist of the month, and this month it was Eda Jose Rosa, who is the artist of A Beautiful Place. So you get 30% off, and I bought 2 charts. I bought Fairy World Collection 1 Pink Fairy, which looks like this. I bought an Enchanted Place Max Colours, which is like a companion to A Beautiful Place. So one's autumnal, one's spring summer. I love it. I love the colours. I think it had a pink tree. I love it. So I bought those 2, and they release more throughout the month from the artist of the month. So there is no guarantee that I won't get another one. I also bought a couple of charts from Cross Stitch for Everyone. I think they had a sale on Etsy, but I don't know if it's still on. I only bought them a couple of days ago. So I bought Is It Friday Yet? Which looks like this. This one makes me laugh. She has got a bad attitude, and that's kind of like my attitude. Yeah, she's just so sassy. I love her. So I bought that one, and I bought Gorgeous Fairy, which I've had on my wish list for quite a bit. So yeah, I can't stop. I'm addicted. What else did I want to talk about? So I have become aware. Not aware, it's not a thing, so I don't want to make it into a thing. But a lot of Flosstubers share a lot about their life, which is great. I seem to just come on here, talk about my stitching and go, which I'm happy with. But I don't want you guys to feel like you don't really know me, like personally. So I am going to try and, talk a bit more about my actual real life and not just my stitching life. There has been a couple of questions about my personal life, which I'm going to answer. And if there's anything that you want to know about me, just ask me. And I will try and add in a little bit of a life update at the end if you guys want me to. So do let me know in the comments if you're interested in life updates or not. So one of the questions I get a lot is, what do I do for a living? Which coincides with another question I get is how do I get so much stitching done between videos? So I work part-time. My husband is the main breadwinner of our family, and so I work part-time. I have my son, he is 9 next week. So he has a lot of independent time. He's a bit too cool to be hanging around with his mum all the time at the minute. He's very much 9 going on 19. So I finish work at 1:15 in the afternoon. So when I get home, I have a couple of hours before I have to pick my son up from school. And then I spend some time with my son, and then I have quite a few hours in the evening to stitch. So I do get quite a bit of stitching time, and I stitch fast. Well, I think I do. I did a test the other day, and I get between 200 and 250 stitches in an hour. So I don't know. I think that's fast, but it might not be. So what do I do for a living? I work in a casino in my area, and I have 2 jobs in the casino. In the morning I clean, and in the afternoon I am a receptionist. So that's what I do. Nothing secret, nothing interesting. What was the other question? Do I have any pets? No. I might offend because I know a lot of stitchers love animals, but I do not like animals in real life. I like stitching wild animals. I love tigers, but I don't want to live with an animal. I have the thought of the hair and the slobber. No, that is not. I don't like animals. I know a lot of you have cats and dogs, which is great. I am just not interested. I've never liked animals, so yeah. I think I've never met anyone else that doesn't like any animals. There's not one animal that I would consider having as a pet. We had fish once, but they were only little tiny fish, and they didn't last that long. What else? Yes, that's it. There's not really much to my life. I live quite simply. It's just me, my son, my husband, and we're quite happy. Like I said, my son is 9 next week. He is mad into golf at the minute, so we are going to take him to play golf. And then after that, we're having a family meal. My husband and I have been together 11 years and married for 1 year. And he's got an interesting job. He works in a lab. I don't have an interesting job, but I'm not that interesting. I don't want to just witter on. This is why I don't try and not do an update. I just don't do an update because I just waffle. So yeah. I think that is everything. I know that end bit is a bit awkward, but I do get them questions quite a lot. So do let me know if you're interested in my life update. If not, I won't be offended because I don't have much to say anyway, so it won't be a lot. The most interesting part of my life is my stitching. So, yes, on that note, I'm going to go. I'm going to tidy up and get stitching. I have a free day today. My house is empty. So I'm going to watch Flosstube. I've got lots to catch up on, and I am going to stitch. So thank you all again for liking, commenting and subscribing. I really appreciate it. And I will see you on my next video, which will be in 2 weeks. Which is in 2 weeks. I can't find the date. Yes, so thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.